My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Hey guys and gals, welcome back. And today, zooming in from beautiful Fort Lauderdale, Florida, we've got Danny Morano, who is very experienced in real estate, specifically as a commercial agent. So he helps us, real estate investors, get into commercial properties. Pretty much you name it, Danny deals with it on the commercial side. So I know there are a lot of people who watch this show who are looking to go from investing in single family homes and scaling up into larger asset classes, but they might not be quite sure about how to do it. So today I want to talk with Danny about, what his experience has been and some tips and suggestions for us as real estate investors to have better agent relationships with commercial agents. So Danny, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks so much for having me.
My pleasure. So Danny, give us a little snapshot of what your day-to-day kind of looks like. What's your bread and butter when it comes to working with investors? What are the primary, like the 80-20 rule of the kind of properties that you're typically dealing with?
Well, it ranges from everything from like land, project development on raw land, which is one extreme, all the way to structures that have already been used for a certain purpose. And a lot of times, what's great, like today, I was out shopping a couple of multi-use buildings.
Okay.
They've been used for several different things. And so when I go to the potential investors and also owner users, that means the person is going to buy it and use it for themselves, for their own business or operation, then I try to show them the flexibility of what that structure has, what they can use it for. And the history of it actually helps them with it. They say, oh, wow, that used to be like today, I was dealing with something that used to be a Ferrari showroom. Then it was a motorcycle shop, but it's also zoned. You could use it for a restaurant. You could use it for a big retail outlet. I ended up with a lady who wants to manufacture sauces, which I never expected because she was the owner of a jewelry store. And she said, well, you won't believe it. My husband and I, we do these sauces and so on. We're looking for a place to do that. And so I was able to say to her, hey, listen, not only can you produce the sauce there, manufacture so, but you could sell it there because it's on a great, frontage road, a big
Yeah.
highway, tons of traffic. So these are the things that I try to bring out for investors. Location, of course, as they always say in real estate, location, location, location. And location is very important. The traffic, the how many people are seeing your place and so on, depending on what you're doing. Of course,
Yeah.
if you're industrial and you're, running a factory or something like that, that's not as important. But most of what I deal with is some type of business. We also sell a lot of businesses. Like I'm just
Oh,
closing right now on a bundle, which is not just the building, but more importantly, the sale of the business. And in this particular transaction, the building was actually very secondary to the business. The person was interested in buying the business. We also sell businesses by themselves, where what you're selling then is the attraction of the lease, how good the
right.
lease is, and of course what the cap rate. I know you're familiar with that, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
What the cap rates are and so on. You want to get a good cap rate, a 7 cap rate or something like that, where your investor knows that he's going to make a good buck on his investment. And of course, when investors are buying commercial property, just like in residential property, where you want to, the best thing, I used to buy foreclosed condominiums in Europe. I
Yeah.
actually lived in Germany, Dave, and I used to go to the courthouse and in other means, I used to get these foreclosures on these condos. And what was most important to me was if there was already a tenant in there and if it was a good history with that tenant. Well, it's the same kind of thing in commercial. It's not that different. Of course, you're dealing with business instead of private living, but you would
Yep.
want to get, for your investor, a good tenant, someone who's going to keep a lease. You want to try to get, a lot of times the standard's about a 5-year lease, but sometimes it's lower and sometimes it's more. Investors come in also for different reasons. Quick example, the one I'm closing on right now, the gentleman's coming in, he's investing, there's an optometrist that's already in there, placed in there with a lease. I got him to lease the place. He's gonna buy the property, lease it out at a good profit for a couple of years, 2 to 3 years, and then he's gonna move in with his own business. So he's given himself some space there to be able to build up, how can I say, a foundation to come in on. He's not coming right in there. So he's
Yep.
got someone who's paying him on a lease, a good, making a good profit. And so he's going to do that for the first couple of years, and then he'll come in himself. So,
So,
it's very creative. Commercial's a lot more creative. That can be fun, and it can also be aggravating. Okay,
well, I
but
was
it's
going to ask you, Danny.
a lot
So
of
you're in
creativity.
Southern Florida. There's a gazillion real estate gurus based in Florida
Yeah.
training wannabe real estate investors left, right, and center. A lot of them wanting to get into probably commercial residential apartment buildings, that sort of thing, but also
Yeah.
commercial properties. Do you ever have a situation where you got a newbie calling you up looking for help? And if so, what kind of tips and suggestions do you have for people to better work with a good commercial agent like yourself?
Well, I think the first thing is to get rid of the stereotypes and the prejudices. And of course, that's what we're dealing with in real estate, overall, is that, because we're in this technological age now, people think, realtors are not necessary and they're just a bunch of shysters and they get paid too much and blah, 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 right? Also,
I
that
assume you disagree.
I hope I disagree. I hope so.
Yeah.
Uh, the other thing is that we're in a box, we're conventional, and then, people that get in as investors, like you're saying, that have, studied from these gurus and so on, which I'm not prejudiced against. I did that in Germany. I was not operating as a licensed real estate agent or broker in Germany. I was operating as an investor. So
Yeah.
I had learned all of the, good tricks and stuff and from the Americans, and then I translated it not only into the German language but into the German system. So I understand that side of things, and I don't think there should be prejudice on either side. I'll say that because realtors today and even brokerages, they've had to keep up with the times too. They can't be
Yeah.
dinosaurs. And a lot of the properties that I deal with now, Dave, are off-market properties. Like half of what I'm selling is what we call off market. That means it's not blasted out all over the multiple listing service. It's not blasted out all over the internet. It's very selective because especially in commercial enterprises, like if you have someone who's selling their business along with their
Mhm.
building, they don't want everyone to know. They don't
Yeah.
want
They
their
want,
staff
they want a little
to
bit
know.
of privacy around that.
Yeah, they don't want their staff to know. Their
Yeah.
staff finds out they're selling in 3 months, they start jumping ship.
Yeah.
So a lot of these people want to do it off market, and they have other reasons for wanting to do it off market. So realtors have become pretty savvy. I think a lot of realtors have, in kind of being more of a cowboy and not so in the box. You still have those people, but I think that they're going to lose in the long run. I think you have to be very flexible. I know for me, real estate period, even as a residential guy, I felt like I had to have 10 different hats in my closet all the time and keep
Yeah.
changing hats to get through a deal, commercial as well. I mean, you gotta work with different types of businesses, different types of properties and specializations. And you're not a specialist in any of these things. Your specialty, hopefully, is commercial real estate. It's not what business your client is in. So you have
Right. Of course. So, well, let
your
me
own.
ask you this, Danny. So are you, within the commercial realm, is it kind of like residential in the sense that you're really pounding the streets trying to find sellers and, maybe not get the listing, but kind of get access to those deals from that end? Or is it more that you're starting with the buyers and trying to find them deals, or is it just basically a combination of both? Just
It's
what?
a combination.
Yeah.
Like when I went out today, I actually went out farming today. I went out with a few properties, very good properties that we have. One, like I said, one is listed, one is not. A couple of them were listed, a couple of them were
So,
not.
so when you say farming, what do you mean?
I'm sorry. Farming is when I go out and I'm basically pressing flesh like a politician.
Yeah, you're trying to
Going
drum up deals, right?
Yeah, going to the businesses,
Yeah.
right? Going to the businesses and basically door knocking. I mean, it's not literal door knocking, right?
Yeah.
I'm walking in the business, I'm introducing myself. Hello, my name is Danny Morano. I'm a commercial realtor working here in the area. I just wanted to stop in and share with you guys a couple of unbelievable opportunities we have. Perhaps you're trying to expand your business. Perhaps you need to change location. You need more space. Whatever the case may be. I wanted to share these things with you. And that, of course, even though at that point I'm fishing for a buyer,
Mhm.
many times I'll land upon another seller, Dave,
Okay.
because they'll say, well, do you also sell and not only properties, but sell a business?
Hmm.
Sometimes they're leasing a property, but they have a very lucrative business and they want to sell the business. And sometimes you stumble into the sale of a business. I was actually, this is funny. I was doing an open house for a residential property, a condo on the beach a couple of weeks ago. And one of the ladies came up to look at the condo and started to talk to me about her and her husband's business. I ended up getting her and her husband as a client to sell their business. And I was, showcasing a condo. So these things, this is where you have to be as as an agent. I feel very flexible and kind of alert because
Yeah.
you can go down the wrong path talking about the wrong thing for an hour. And here you got an incredible potential situation and you're not even tapping into it. But to let your people understand, your audience, they don't have to be afraid of realtors. And commission, let me say this because it's always the big thing. Commission is always negotiable,
Mhm.
always.
Yeah.
You don't have to be afraid. Oh, I'm gonna have to pay too much commission. They're gonna lock me in to this or that. There are no rules. Just like you say, everything's for sale, right? Everything's for sale. We always say with everything that we deal with, everything's negotiable. So there's no fear needed from or trepidation needed from a private investor or developer who wants to use a commercial realtor or broker. The advantage that we have is our networks. I mean, I'm working with an incredible brokerage. We have a network of hundreds and hundreds of different avenues on the internet, through mail, all over the country and even international, that you're not going to get just working on your own. You know what I mean?
Right.
So sometimes people are trying to avoid paying a certain percent commission and try to do it. It's like your FISBOs in the residential. It's like you're
Mhm.
for sale by owners. Yeah.
Yep.
Where they want to avoid selling commission. Yeah, well, that's great. But guess what? Who's going to show your house? Beside that little sign you got on your front lawn, who's showing your house? So it's the same thing in commercial.
Yeah.
I think there's a great advantage to using professionals because we have access to tools, to knowledge, to experience, and to networks that you would otherwise not have if you're not on the inside of the business.
Got it. Makes sense, Danny. So we're wrapping up 2024. What exciting plans do you have for the new year?
Oh, I have some real exciting plans. We're getting into some bigger development projects. I got a project right now that's going off in Hollywood, Florida. There's actually a Hollywood over here.
Mhm.
And we have the big, I don't know if you ever heard of the Hard Rock Casino. Dave,
Yes.
it's in the form of a big guitar. It's right near there. We're looking to bring in a developer for that to build something brand new. It's fun to give places facelifts, to just see to be involved in transforming somewhere that's kind of going down and you bring it back to life. So we're looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to getting back into some international, global transactions. I do have the advantage of speaking the German language, and I'll put my feelers out for that this year. And I do believe, I mean, we just had this election and everything. I believe that there's been a turn in, everybody, I'm telling you, back in the summer, it was doom and gloom. I mean, if you went onto YouTube, it was just doom and gloom when it came to any type of real estate. And now things have not gone into the sewer as much as everybody thought. And, we haven't had this incredible depression that's going to completely destroy the economy for the next 5 to 10 years. Things are actually starting to look up. It actually is still a seller's market, both residential and commercial, which is not a disadvantage to buyers because buyers have good inventory to choose from. And there's still great opportunities. So I'm looking forward to expanding my horizons as well, working with more creative transactions, and just looking to see 25. I think 25 for me anyway, personally, I think is going to be a much greater year even than 24.
Nice. Danny, if people want to connect with you, where should they go?
They can go to LinkedIn, and I can put it up here on the screen.
Or just maybe tell them what name to look for if they're listening to this, they don't see it.
Yeah, Danny Morano. If you go to Danny Morano on LinkedIn, okay, you'll find my page there. LinkedIn Trek Real Estate, TREC, Total Real Estate Consulting is our brokerage, Danny Morano, and I have a lot of video up there. I have a lot of things to learn from. Of course, we have what we're offering. And I think you'll have a good time there if you come and visit me at LinkedIn.
Thanks for being on the show, Danny. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody, take care. We'll see you on the next one. Hey there. I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewyou.com. Now, at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.